Good evening, everybody. Thank you all for registering and attending this one-week online faculty development program on outcome-based education, OBE. This is being organized by the Internal Quality Assurance Cell, IQAC of JPM Arts and Science College, Kanchiyar, Kattappana, Idukki, in association with IPSR Solutions Limited. We would like to welcome Dr. Sunil Job, who is the resource person for today, and all the FTP resource persons, managers, directors, principals, vice principals, representatives from management, HODs, IQSC coordinators, and all faculty members. About this FTP, we have over 1,100 participants from 28 states and union territories together, and 450 plus higher education institutions. We also have a YouTube live streaming available for this session that's simultaneously going on other than the WebEx. This is a one-week program with live sessions, which is starting at 7 p.m. and continuing till 9 p.m. We do expect you to attend on all the 5 days. This is actually our third day, so there are 2 more days to be going. So we would expect you to see you for the next 2 days as well. All the participants who have paid the processing fee will receive the LMS access, the video recording for all the days, and along with that, a participation certificate. If any of you are yet to make the payment, please make the payment of ₹200 to JPM College to the account details in the chat. LMS has hands-on activities that are to be completed along with the FTP. My name is 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨 George. I'm the Global Relations I'm working as Global Relations Manager with IPSR Solutions Limited, and I will be the event moderator. Now, today's session will be by Dr. Sunil Job, and his topic will be on Introduction to OBE, Architecture of OBE, and its outcomes. Now, talking about Dr. Sunil Job, Dr. Sunil Job KA, he's an adjunct faculty with Marian College, Kuttikkanam Autonomous, and he is the Chief of Academics for IPSR Solutions Limited. Dr. Sunil Job has over 30 plus years of experience in teaching and 10 plus years in corporate consultancy. He holds a PhD in mathematical education and has been an associate professor at MG University, College of Teacher Education from 1999. He has started his career as assistant professor at Carmela Rani College, Kollam. He has served as visiting team member of NCT for grant of recognition and as a resource person for the Affiliation Renewal Committee of MG University. He is an active blogger in cutting-edge technologies in IT, education, and data science. Dr. Job has also published a few articles in national journals and authored a few academic books and a reference manual in mathematics. He has also served as a resource person for a number of faculty development programs in outcome-based education, data science, e-learning, etc. Currently serving as adjunct professor, Marian College, Kuttikkanam Autonomous, and Chief of Academics, IPSR Solutions Limited. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Sajin, for the wonderful introduction. And I think this is the second time for this group I have been introduced. Anyhow, a very good evening, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful weekend and also enjoyed a very productive day today and much relaxed to have more reflections on outcome-based education. I think the last 2 days you have explored that is the Bloom's taxonomy, and what makes me more happy is that I could find that you are utilizing the possibilities of our learning management system. Actually, the real life of OBE is there in the learning management system. It has been showcased with a number of activities. In the sense, there is a lot of hands-on tasks for you to work on with. There is a lot of provision for you to collaborate. Obviously, it is true that the learning becomes more better, and you will be able to scale the level of proximity of, according to Vygotsky, when you collaborate. And obviously, our LMS has been beautifully defined with the different platforms for you to share your ideas through the forums, to collaborate, And many of the tasks which has been showcased in the modules are very beautifully designed, so that you will become the persons submitting the assignments, and you will also have the permissions to check the validity of the others who have submitted the assignments. So both as a contributor as well as an assessment specialist, you can have your activities in LMS. And there is a lot of videos which will be helping you to familiarize with the more innovative tools and techniques which could be used. And regarding the outcome-based education, we have got a lot of materials showcased in the LMS. So definitely, what I personally feel that the real life is there in the LMS. So don't miss the opportunity of getting into the LMS and do the activities there. And not only that, because we know that this is an online platform, definitely there can be a possibility of any internet connectivity or so, something like that. And if in any way you miss something in between, then that could be bridged, or because all the live sections will be loaded there in the LMS, so that the next day, if you miss something by some way or the other because of the technical fault or about some busy schedule, you can rewind that particular area where you have missed, and you can keep it up. So definitely that is a very wonderful platform. So make the best out of it. So okay. So here today we'll be exploring, entering into the outcome-based education for the last 2 days. You have just gone through what is Bloom's taxonomy, the challenges in the Bloom's taxonomy, a wonderful section by Suresh Nambudiri, and now we are entering into our outcome-based education. So as I've got some slides for you to share, so let me pass on to my presentation. And to avoid these connectivity issues, I will just be keeping my video mute and passing with these slides. So let me share my slides first. So I have the same two questions always I ask, whether my sound is okay as well as my screen is visible.
Yes, you're audible and your screen is visible.
Okay, thank you, Sajan. And please. So okay, so we go with the. Actually, this was the section which normally happened in the second day. So that's why it's written second day. So actually, it's the third day today, and this is the third day section that we are in our FTP this roadmap. So here we are just going with an introduction to outcome-based education as well as formulation of outcomes. So let me put this into the presentation mode. So obviously, to begin a journey, it is always better to have a look into what we are, what is the special that we are going to have for today. Okay. So this is something that we will be enjoying. These about 1.5 to 2 hours ahead of us, we will be enjoying through this stuff. So obviously, to begin with, it is always better to start with why and what, because that is actually the motivational factor that pulls you to our full track of this OBE. So we'll be exploring on why and what of this OBE. Then we'll be just going through the building block of OBE, where you will be familiarizing with the architectural framework of outcome-based educations. And obviously, these are the different components that comes along with that architecture, like program educational objectives, graduate attributes, POs, PSOs, course outcomes, etc. So you will be familiarizing with the architecture of OBE. This is from the building block to the course outcomes. And the most that is the crucial element in this section will be I'll be giving you a formula for writing a course outcome. So definitely the course outcome has got some technical expertise as well as your creative potential. Both when it has been clubbed together, you'll be able to write a very beautiful outcome. So I will be working on with that, how to write a very beautiful outcome. And obviously, when we write an outcome, definitely there should be a scale for you to check whether the outcome is a good outcome or bad outcome. Because writing outcome is the role of the teachers, because working with the PO, PSOs will be from the institutional and the departmental level. But it is the duty of the teachers to write the outcome. So to write the outcome will be something more important from the teacher's point of view. So this formula, you will be really enjoying how to write a good outcome and to have a quality check. And obviously, the platform where we have the life is our LMS. So we'll be just detailing about the LMS task also. So here we go with this question: why and what of OBE? So now you can just check out what you are seeing in your screen. This will be the answer, I think the best answer to the question, why outcome-based education. So actually, this is a study report which I have taken from a higher education journal, Enhancing University Education. And what this picture depicts is the status of the students who have completed a professional degree program. So this is the status of the students who have completed a professional degree program. So you can just look into this picture for a while, because there are some elliptical figures here. There is one x-axis going on, which showcases about the failed, the candidates who have failed exams and passed exams. And there is one vertical line, which is equivalent to a y-axis going, which showcases on those persons who are not able to, that is, do the task related to the area that they will be studying. So you can just look into that, and I'll be passing one question. Before that, let me log in to this platform through my this also, that is my mobile also, because if I want to read the chat, this will be better. So I have got one question. What can you comment on this the result of this exams? Result of these exams. What can you comment? Okay. So now you can put it in chat. Now you can put it in chat. Let me open the chat. My question is that this is a, excuse me, I think. Okay, so I'll be asking the question, two questions. One is just by the number about the result. This is a result of a professional degree program, a BTech program, probably. So obviously, to pass a BTech examination without back papers is something a big job. So regarding the result, what can you say about the result? What percentage of the student passed? What percentage of the student passed? That's my question. What percentage of the student passed? So you can just, only 7. The x-axis, this is the portion where the students failed, and this is the portion of the student passed. So what is the total percentage of the student passed? This is the 9% is the failed examination, failed candidates, right? And when you go up after this mark, what has been showcased here in the right shows that the percentage of the students passed. So obviously now the answer has been coming right, because both this 84 plus 7, 91% of the student pass. So there is a possibility of making a very good advertisement that 91% of the student passed out of my college. There is a possibility of flex for promoting it and keeping some flex regarding these students pass, because the result wise is very good, 91%. But what is the what can you say about the real stuff that has come out of that college? The real stuff. Definitely, that is embarrassing. That is something embarrassing, because out of this total students, 91% of the students have passed, and only 7% of the students are productive students. That is, who have passed the examinations and they are able to be fit into the professional platform for which they have been trained, right? So only 7% are the successful graduates, successful not only for the examinations but also for the professional platform or for meeting the challenges of life. So this is the fallacy of the educational system, because you could see that now the previously most of the CEOs of high-profile companies used to state this remark that they have to spend about 1 year or more for streamlining the graduate students who have already taken the professional degree in order to make them job fit. That is something embarrassing. So this is something very critical, and not also that they are not becoming successfully fit into their life as well as in the career space, isn't it? So this is a very critical scenario where the outcome-based education becomes more emphasizes in the current scenario. So outcome-based education, in the very simple sense, I would like to put it as, it is an attempt to convert both this blue area as well as this red area into this big green area. Did you get it? So the students should become academically sound as well as professionally, and as well as they should gain the competencies which makes them professionally fit as well as successful in their life. So in a very simplest term, outcome-based education is an attempt to push this red area into green area so that everyone will be able to know and they'll be able to do what is related to their professional platform, right? So actually outcome-based education is something you are adding something, you are giving, not adding something, you are prioritizing something in addition with the academical inputs. So if you are walking down this x-axis, that is your academical inputs you are trying to give to the students. They would have studied some big pages of essays and answers, question and answers. They have answered and they got passed. But this side, a new axis or y-axis has been appearing here, an axis of competencies. The axis of competencies is related to the life. The axis of competencies that is related to the professional platform, like communication skill, problem-solving skills, or the skills to work with a team, or likewise something that makes them successful in that lifelong career. So those competencies also should be nurtured. So an outcome-based education is an approach which makes them importantly fit in their academical domain as well as equipping them the desired competencies. That is what you can see it in the in PO, PSOs, etc. So making them fit with the bunch of competencies that make them successful in their life and career, so that both these area will be transformed into a big green area. And I don't think that there is something more better that you can say about why outcome-based education in this scenario. So obviously you can just read this one. There is one. The slide is not moving because I was talking about the single slide, so the slide won't move, and this my sound is not audible. Someone has been saying. So I would like to again ask the same question whether my sound is audible. Srijan, are you there in the other end?
Yes, I can hear you and see
So
those.
probably the problem is not from my end. Probably your connectivity issues may be the issues. Please check it out. Okay.
What you can probably do is those who are facing issue with the audio, you can probably try it on YouTube. There's a live streaming on YouTube. I'll put the link there now shortly.
Yeah, that is wonderful. That is wonderful, Sridin. If we have got an alternative solution also, if you are having some difficulty in logging in this platform, WebEx platform, you can also try with the.
Yeah, I will put the YouTube link now.
Yeah. So that will be also better. You can have both the platforms are there, so you can select the platform which suits the best according to your connectivity. That's fine. Good. That's good. So going to obviously, since I'm told that we are working with introduction to outcome-based education, so just I want to just read one statement on outcome-based education. I don't want you to read all these things. That is okay. It's a model of education that deviates from the traditional focus. Let it be there. And what is the deviation? What is the deviation? Is been showcased in the red. So the outcome-based education focuses on what the student should be able to know in the sense their x-axis, the academical inputs, and what they are able to do is what we have showcased in the y-axis. So outcome-based education makes the scholar competent in their knowledge domain as well as in their competency domain, competency related to their career, competency related to their working platforms, competency related to their social life, competency related to etc. So that is something outcome-based education is focusing on. So I think that's clear. And these are the four principles, probably the four pillars of outcome-based education. Obviously, the outcome-based education brings clarity of focus. You'll be wondering, what is the clarity of focus? We have got clarity. But outcome-based education brings more clarity to what you have to do in your teaching learning environment. I would like to put it in a little more better words. I will just give you an example. So this is the example which I often refer in most of my sections. Suppose if you're planning to build a house, you are planning to build a house. What does it mean? What is your objective? Your objective is to build a house, building a house. So obviously, you will be having so on building a house, you will be having some plans. Okay, I want to build a house in my plot, which is about 20 cents of land is there, and I want to build a house where I've got a budget of about 50 or 40 to 50 lakhs. That's only my pocket size is only that much. 40 to 50 lakhs I could spend for that, and I was planning to build a house of about 3 bedrooms should be there, and one this kitchen, living room, one this puja room should be there. Likewise, I've got some calculations there. But at this point of time, what will be the final form of that house is not clear. So what you do, obviously, you will be going to an architect. You will be discussing about that architect, about your plans, your objectives. So both of you were discussing. And this architect also will be sharing something, whether you want all these rooms as a single story or a 2-story. So you will say that, no, sir, I want it as a double-story building because I need some more spaces, more courtyards for making some landscapes. I want to build, I want to make some vegetable gardens like that. You will be discussing like that. But even at this point, you will not be able to capitalize, or you will not be able to get the clarity on what will be the final shape of the building will be going to be that you're going to build. So the same scenario, I am going to take you to another way of presenting the things. Suppose if you would like to, if you have got a much attraction towards some building that you would like to, some building which has been already there, and you are planning to build the same house, exactly the same house with the permission of the owner, that is underlined, with the permission of the owner that you want to build the same house like that. So what you do, you will take the architect, go to the house, and you will show them, I want an exactly the same house like this. So you can compare both the situations. Before, you have plans, but the final form is not clear. In the second instance, what your house will look like after the construction is been perfectly there. This is the difference between the outcome-based education as well as this objective. The first one is objective-based education. That is objective planning. You are planning ahead. But here you are fixing the outcome that your house should be looking exactly like this. So everything is being clear, isn't it? Now, what should happen at the end is being showcased first, and then from there, the engineer will be, the architect will be planning down, planning backward, and it will reach to the first state of drawing a blueprint of plan for that house. So this is exactly what is outcome-based education. What should be the final form? What should be the final product should be fixed first, and then you are tracking out the curriculum of the procedures from that. This is outcome-based education. So both of them, you are doing the same thing, going to build a house. In the first instance, it was the objective-based instruction. You have got an objective, but you don't have the final idea on what your students are able to do after the course. But here you are fixing what the students are able to do after completion of the course in advance, like showing that this should be the final format of the house first, and then from there you are planning backward, and then your entire curriculum will be focusing on that end, so that by completion of that particular course or whatever thing that you are involved in, that end should be met. So end first and planning accordingly is what is there in the outcome-based education. So outcome-based education is output-based. What should be the output will be showcased first. So that will bring clarity to the focus, as well as you are designing from the end point so that the track will be very clear and there will be no waste of activities. And by the end of the activities, so curricular activities, the end will be met. So this is a wonderful thing. This is a wonderful thing if you have the craft to do the things in the right way. You will, that is the platform, the teaching learning environment will going to change like anything. If you are having the real life of implementing the outcome-based education the right way. And what is this? High expectations, because in my previous presentation, I think probably you will be remembering, high expectation, what does it mean? Because everyone will be able to do or to learn if you are generating a situation such that it is compatible for them. So in an outcome-based educational instructional scenario, you are going to develop some instructional packages which suit the students, so that it will help them to attain the end point. End point means the outcome at its best. So that is something very and expand opportunities. That is, you have to provide multifarious tasks and opportunities, so that it should bring life, activity, collaboration among students, so that the final outcomes are met in its best. So that is what I could say, the principles of outcome-based education. And here you can see something. This is the building block of outcome-based education. I would rather like to say the architecture or the topology of outcome-based education, where you can see a lot of components which has been showcased here. So just have a look at this. You can see two arrows here. One is coming from top to down, and what is related to that? That is development of a curriculum. So if you want to develop a curriculum in the lines of outcome-based education, you have to design down. That is what I told in the previous slide. That is end first and then designing down. The curriculum should be designed down and progress accordingly. So this is what designing down, that is fixing these components first and planning this down. So this is how the development or the formulation of the outcome-based educational curriculum should happen. And you can see one arrow rocketing up. What is that? If you want to make assessment to what level that these outcomes are met, because outcome-based education, you have to assess to what extent that outcomes are met. So for this, you have to make assessments from the grassroots level, and then you can estimate to what extent the outcomes are met at the top level. So this is the relevance of the two arrows, one coming down and one coming up. And these are the building block of outcome-based education. Obviously, vision and mission, there is no need for me to mention, because in whichever colleges that I used to go, in the front corridor itself, I could see vision and mission, because obviously the vision and mission is something that decides the modus operandi of our institutions, definitely. So here, when we are formulating, that is when we are coming from top to down, the first thing that you have to showcase is that. The first thing that you have to showcase is that, can you see that there is one odd man in this outcome-based education topology, that is program educational objective. This is the only objective that you could see in an outcome-based topology. Rest, everything is outcome. Program outcome, program specific outcomes, course outcomes, and below that there are some small outcomes which we call it as intended learning outcomes, because it will be a festival of outcomes, right? And only one objective is there. So while planning or formulating an outcome-based education, the first thing that you have to take into consideration is that what should be the goal of education. Goal means future. You have to look into future. That is, when a student pass out, what should be the goal for that education? What he should be able to do in his future 3 to 4 years of life when he has passed out. So this is something related to the goals. You have to fix what should be the goal of the program first. So how to fix the goal of the program? Definitely, the goal of the program will be aligned on the basis of your vision and mission. And definitely, according to the outcome-based educational strategies, or these, we have to keep a constant rapport with the stakeholders, the society, in order to fix what is something that the society expects from the college, from the pass-outs. So that should be feedback should be taken from the society for fixing what should be the goal of the program. And what is this? So it is on the basis of the goal we have to fix what should be the program outcomes and what would be the program specific outcomes. So program outcomes are nothing but what are the takeaways that you could give to the students. I will repeat, the program outcomes are nothing but what are the graduate attributes or what are the competencies that you have to equip the students so that these goals will be met. So definitely the program outcomes and program specific outcomes will be related to the goals that you're fixing for your program, and these are some of the takeaways that you are providing to the students so that they can have a successful journey ahead in this line. So before we could say that program outcomes are nothing but the graduate attributes or a set of competencies, like, because if you want to make the student successful in their life and career after they pass out, what all thing that you have to provide them? Probably you have to equip them with some communication skills, or you have to equip them with some social accountability, or you have to equip them with problem solving skills. You have to equip them from creative ideas. You have to equip them with the project management skills. You have to equip them with the environment consciousness, like that. You have to equip them with the different pack of competencies which make them successful in their journey ahead. So these are nothing but the graduate attributes written in the form of outcomes. That comes here. So when we are going with an outcome-based education, you have to plan in advance what should be the goal of that educational program. And on the basis of the goal, you have to fix what should be the competencies that you have to fix, or you have to equip the students while you are letting them out. So these competencies, which could be called as graduate attributes. So what are the graduate attributes, or what are the graduate attribute takeaways that you will give to the students to make them successful in this? And how are the graduate attributes met? How are they met? They are met by the different courses, the different subjects that you are giving as a part of your program. Suppose if it is a computer BCA program, isn't it? You will be fixing, you will be having a number of takeaways when the student pass out of the BCA program. So what are the subjects that you should include there? So you'll be including, okay, introduction to computers. Then you'll be including courses like there's courses on operating systems, or the different programming languages, the database programming, so database designs. So likewise, you are stuffing with a number of courses. So these program outcomes are met on the basis of the number of programs, number of courses, and each course is, because here everything is outcome based, every course should be defined in terms of outcomes. So it is that outcomes that decide what should be the courses. Okay, so this is the building block of an outcome based education. So we will be drilling deeper into each one of these building block in detail in the upcoming slides. So before going to that, I have one more question to ask you. One more question, because some interaction should be there always, right? So you can see that a paradigm shift in the educational system in terms of outcome-based education. So what can you say about this? This is the traditional system of education where this is not the teacher, right? This is the scholar, a student, or a graduate scholar who was there in the traditional system with the with some book. You can consider it as book, and this is the contemporary system or the outcome-based education, what it demands. What's the difference that you could find here? What is the difference? What does the contemporary system demand? Yeah, multitaskers, multidisciplinaries, use of latest technology. Yes, you are in the right track. So here, traditionally, we are overemphasizing to the academical inputs. Now we want the students to be multitaskers. They should have creative ideas, isn't it? To create some new technologies, or some creative ideas should be there. They should be well versed with the latest technologies. They should have project management skills. They should likewise multiple competencies should be there, and it is these competencies which we are showcasing as program outcomes, isn't it? Program outcome. What is an outcome? What is one program outcome which we would like to say? Okay, creative ideas, or problem solving ability, project management skills. So likewise, we need our scholars to be multitaskers, isn't it? Apart from, because we need them to have academically sound, but also in addition to that, we need them to be competent in multiple ways, so that they could be successful in the career platform, as well as they could be successful in their life. They could be successful in the society and become a productive member of the society, contributing much for the social advancements like that. So that is what we want. Okay, a lot of good answers are coming. I'm very happy with this group, because this interaction always will boost my energy to go ahead. Okay, that's good. And I would like to say, in one of my sections, one person has answered that. So one major difference that I could see from the traditional system and the contemporary system is that the contemporary scholars will always wear a spectacle. A glass round. Okay, though it's fun. Okay, that's something, because they are more focused with technologies. So definitely, they may be having a specs round trick. Okay, so just for a fun. So, should have a lot of competencies packed, a package of competencies, so that they could be successful. That's what the traditional system, the contemporary system, is looking forward. So, as I mentioned in my as I mentioned in my previous slide, from the topology which is there, we will be taking one. The first one is program educational objective. So, in a very simple term, I will put that the program educational objectives are the immediate goal of the program. Goal means future oriented. So, they are the statement that focuses on what the students are expected. Expected means it is objective, expectations, expected to attain within first few years. Why first few years? That's a question. Because when we are planning objective, we will be focusing on immediate goals. Because when they pass out of the educational stream, what they should be able to do immediately within 2 to 3 or to 4 years. Because it is said that during the first few years after leaving the college, the major impact of the scholar will be what they have got from the college. And definitely after about 20 or 25, about 15 to 20 years, it is their experiences with the different platforms will make them. So definitely, while planning a outcome-based education, while setting program educational objectives, we will showcase on the immediate goals of that is immediately getting into a career or going for higher education or to become a better citizen or a better that is a smart and a productive citizen. Like that, immediate goals will be should be showcased for program educational objectives. And the thing is that objective is that what they'll be capable of doing in future. So that is why in a outcome-based educational scenario, you should collect a continuous feedback from the students, at least for the first few years after they leave the college. And that will be giving you what the index on how well your program educational the program outcomes was successful in meeting the demands of program the educational goals. So that will be a feedback. So on the basis of the feedback, these outcome-based educational courses, the topology should be restructured. So it is not a constant thing. Every time from the feedback, you have to get some productive inputs into your teaching learning environments so that the students will be current and dynamic. So that's something very important. So this is a small dummy. This is a small dummy program educational objective that I have just put for the case of explanation. Okay, so program educational objectives are goals, future oriented. So what is the first goal that I've shortlisted? So when the student pass out of the educational institution, obviously from a graduate program or a postgraduate program, the first priority will be to get into a platform that will help them to earn a livelihood, a career. That's something very important. So that's what I've taken it here. The graduate will be able to demonstrate competencies and leadership to become a professional, okay, or an employee, or even entrepreneur. That's something we have to look high. Entrepreneur, that is, you should be in a position to with some startup which will be giving some job opportunities to multiple persons. Entrepreneur leading a successful career or pursue an higher education. This is one goal. But similar goal after graduations, obviously, the career should be there, or they should be given a sufficiently sound platform for higher education. Then another, the graduate will be able to. This is only a dummy, just to bring some thoughts into this. That's why I just showcased from some dummy program education objectives. Okay, what's next one? That is, the graduate will be able to demonstrate commitment towards preservation of environment and sustainable development of society. This is what we are giving very priority, because we are in the threat of the many challenges in that environment, isn't it? Because that is something which should be brought into the attitude and mindsets of the scholars who are passing out. That is, the environment is facing a lot of challenges, because we have got generations and generations and generations to come after that. So we have to leave something for their comfortable life also. So that consciousness should be brought into that. So whatever project or developmental plans that we are working out, that should not pose any challenges to the environment. Such consciousness should be there. And even when a person passes out of the educational stream, you should be socially accountable, because society is a very beautiful web where people live with a mutual give and take. Because I'll be serving you in one way, and I'm getting the services from the society in a multiple way. Likewise, so just going with some explanation. So you can have some graduate goals like that. And graduate will pursue lifelong learning. That's something very important, because whatever that we are using now will be outdated within few months. So the student should develop that particular ability to keep up a rapport with what is latest, especially in the technological frontiers. We know that some technology that we are using now will be outdated in 2 or 3 months. That's the pace by which the technology is explosive. It's at the explosive rate the technology has been going ahead. So we should always, it is just like the Chinese proverb. It is always better to teach the students fishing rather than giving them fish like that. We should make the students capable of equipping them with their own potentials for lifelong learning, so that they can keep abreast with the latest developments. So just showcased a few goals. And on the basis of these goals, and I told that on the basis of these goals, we are developing program outcomes. So the program outcomes, the first form of program outcome, we could call it as a graduate attribute. The first form of this program outcome, we can call it as a graduate attribute. The graduate attribute written in the form of an outcome will become a program outcomes. So what I'm going to say is that the program outcomes that we showcases in our colleges should be aligned with the educational goals. So these are some of the inputs that we are giving to the students for the successful accomplishment of the educational goals. So obviously, the program outcomes and the educational goals should be aligned to each other. So I am taking one program educational objective. One program educational objective, the first one. Obviously, it is something related to career, right? So the program this was the outcome which I've read in the previous slide. The graduates will be able to demonstrate competency and leadership to become professional, employee, and entrepreneur, leading to a successful career or pursue higher education. Suppose if you want to actualize this goal, so what are the takeaways that you should give to your scholar? Or what are the competencies that you should equip with the scholar? Suppose if it is a management program, okay, it is a management program. So obviously, if they want to get into a marketing scenario, what competencies that you have to equip them? You can put it in chat. You can put it in chat. Oh, very good, very good. I'm happy. So one communication skill is there. Then you can add. So if you want to successfully prepare the students for a career, what are the competencies that you should ensure in them while they lead? So what are the takeaways that you should give them? Okay, the power of negotiation, everything will come in this communication skill. The leadership should be there. So likewise, with respect to the difference, with respect to the different programs, we can bring about a lot of competencies which make them successful in actualizing these goals. So I think it is clear. So the graduate attribute that we are fixing should be in line with the goals of education. So obviously, the listed attribute I would like to bring is that the entrepreneurship is there, the leadership is there, the competency to work together in a team should be there, the competency of communication should be there, the competency of problem solving should be there. Likewise, we should fix them, we should stuff them with these competencies, and we should ensure them this is met when they leave. So these competencies should be ensured, isn't it? So you will be showcasing it as the outcome while they leave. That is what. So these graduate attributes will be showcased as the end product while they leave. Just like I showed that this should be the final format of the building, this should be the final competencies that should be assured when they leave the program. That's the program outcome. So the program outcomes are developed from your prior planning. What should be the educational goals? On the educational goals, what should be the end competencies that you have to give them when they pass out? So that is the program outcomes. Very, very clear. And UGC has given graduate attributes, some suggestions for the graduate attributes like disciplinary knowledge, communication skills, critical thinking, problem solving, analytical reasoning. Likewise, a number of these graduate attributes are suggested by the UGC. And the UGC has given the institutions an option that you can select. It is just like a buffet. It is just like a buffet. You could select what all graduate attributes will be comfortable for according to your set objectives, according to your set educational goals or your set objectives. What are the educational graduate attributes which finds comfortable? You could select it. So the UGC has given, and this is only some. You can add more. You can add more. So while it is normally what we could see is that these graduate attributes for a graduate program will be the common graduate attributes for the graduate programs will be selected from the institutional level. That will be common for whether it is a BA program or BCom program or a science program or management program. The common graduate attributes, we will call it as POs. But there are subject-specific graduate attributes, which we call as program-specific outcomes, which is we discussed in the later stages. And this is the graduate attribute which has been given by NBA. That is for the engineering colleges. Actually, the root of this is from this Washington Accord. We know that we are also the member of Washington Accord. So these are the graduate attributes which is being suggested by the nations or the countries that have been included in the Washington Accord, like USA, UK, France, like that, the companies which has been there. And India signed the Washington Accord by 2014. What they've suggested is that these are something related to the graduate technical program, that is BTech program. So wherever in this all these countries in the graduate in the Washington Accord about these countries will be adopting the same set of these graduate attribute for the engineering programs. And what is the benefit out of it? It is a way of standardizing. Whether you study it in India, whether you study this graduate this engineering education from USA, UK, France, Australia, India, they are having the same outcome. Outcome will be there. And they have suggested that if they are been accredited by the NBA as the Tier 1 college with the accreditation with the Tier 1 college, then the students who are studying at India can pursue their study, continue their study in these the other countries which has been there in that one. So this gives a global mobility as well as it builds up a global standard to our education. So gradually, what they have suggested is that whatever all the engineering colleges under this Washington Accord should adopt this as the standard outcomes, and they should adopt outcome-based education, and they should ensure that these outcomes are met. So there is no need for any additional transcripts for international mobility or global mobility like that. This is a very good move. And now we are just on the way of getting these things standardized in the other domains. So this is the graduate attributes by NBA. The first 5 we could see, these are something which is related to the technical capacities, engineering knowledge, problem analysis related to the engineering knowledge, design and development of solutions related to engineering knowledge. All these things are related to the technical capabilities. And the others are integrated capabilities. And when we showcase it in our scenario of arts and science colleges, we could say that these are the common graduate attributes, which we call it as program outcomes. And these are the engineering. If they are the engineering knowledge related to civil engineering will be different from that of computer science, will be different from the electronics and communications. So likewise, this will be subject specific. So this is equivalent to the technical abilities or related to the engineering, and this is some common. The engineering and society, environment and sustainability, ethics, individual and teamwork, communication, project management, and finance. All these things are the general. And when we come into our scenario, these general attributes we can call it as PUs, and the other we can call it as PSUs. So now coming into little more detailed on program outcomes and program specific outcomes. This is what I was telling all this in the previous 2 slides, isn't it? The program outcomes, how the program outcomes has come out. We first fixed the goal, and on the basis of the goals, we fixed what are the graduate attributes. The common attributes, we call it as program outcomes. Common attributes in the sense, the attributes which is common to whether it is a science student, whether it is an art student, whether it is a management students, the common attributes like communication skill is something common which every student should have. Environment sustainability is something common that everyone should have, isn't it? So all the common attributes could be grouped as program outcomes, and something which is related to the subject. That is, suppose if I'm doing a course in commerce, I should have the subject has got some impact on the scholars. So that's a special impact. So that is what we call it as program specific outcomes. And just reading it out. So these competencies will be in these 3 levels. They refers to the knowledge. It can be something disciplinary knowledge like that we have seen there. The skills, communication skills, the attitude, ethics, environmental consciousness, the attitudes. So these graduate attributes may be in the form of some knowledge, or it could be some in the form of attitudes, or it could be in the form of skills. So that the student should have at the end of the program. So that is what the graduate attributes we have fixed, and we told that it is PO. And when the student pass out, they should ensure that it is happened. And these graduate attributes, we can categorize it as it can be either something related to the knowledge, or related to the skills, or related to the attitudes. And PSO, as I told, that it is program specific. That is, a commerce students should have some specific knowledge regarding marketing, accountancy, subject. A computer student should have something related to the programming languages, etc., related to the subject. So, what is related to specific with their program, that is what program specific outcomes. This is something a very beautiful thing if it has been done in the right way. Right? What is that? So this is obviously we know that when a student pass out of the your program, when they pass out, you will be giving them what? A certificate, right? Certificate showing what? That is their performance with respect to the different subjects, their grade or their percentage scores. That will be given to the students as the certificate of testimony, as a certificate that he has qualified for the particular program. So a mark list will be there, and the certificate will be given to them. So outcome-based education, do not replace it. It should be going as such. In addition to that, That is something in the first slide related to the x-axis. The student passed or failed. 91% passed. It is on the basis of the certificate. But in addition to that, in outcome-based education, you have erected a new axis of competencies, and you will be measuring to what extent that competencies are met. And these are the competencies which we have showcased in our program outcome and program specific outcomes. Isn't it? So what level that the students have attained this? So this is something very, very interesting. So together with the marks that they have scored for the different subjects, you are giving them an assessment with respect to their competencies. So I want to make some detailing on this, because these are the things that you have seen from the UGC, like disciplinary knowledge, communication skill. So these are the different competencies that an institution has selected. And this is the attainment of a single student. Okay, a student X. So let it be Sunil Job. So this is my attainment. That is for the disciplinary knowledge. I got a scale of 2.3. And this is a standardized scale which has been accepted by both NBA as well as EDNA. That is, this is a 4-point scale ranging from 0, 1, 2, 3. So the maximum out of 3, just like you will be getting for NAAC accreditation, your final score will be converted into a 5-point scale from 0 to 5. Like this, this is a 4-point scale from 0 to 3. So from 3, this student has got 2.3 rating, not rating, the 2.3 level of attainment in disciplinary knowledge. For communication skill, he got 1.8 out of 3. That is about 60%. If I got full 3, it will be 100%. If I got 2.7, it is 90%. If I get 2.4, it is 80%. If it is 1.8, it is 60%. Okay, 60% proficiency in this. Likewise, I'll be able to quantify the level of attainment of these competencies by the different assessment techniques that has been adopted throughout the courses. If it is a 6-semester program or a 8-semester program, throughout the courses, your assessment with respect to the different activities will be transformed into the assessment of this. Or sometimes, if you want to put it, if you want to make it little more generic, because now this putting it in a score pattern is less impressive. So we can put it in this way. If they have covered 70%, that means 2.1 or above, great. That is high. If they have completed about 50%, 1.5 and above, because maximum is 3, okay, you can give moderate. Or if it is less than that, not attained. All right. Here nothing is less than 1.5. So this is the end assessment chart that you can give to the student. But there is a risk also. What is the risk factor? This is like an authentic profile that you're giving to the students. You are watching them for the entire course for about 3 to 4 years. Through the different activities, you are assessing them and you are giving them. But if they are not correctly assessed, suppose if you are giving a communication skill, if you are giving out of 3, if you are giving 2.8 or 2.9, that means the student is having an excellent communication skill. Very good, isn't it? So if this guy, if they are taking it to the employer, by seeing at the certificate itself, he says that, okay, you are the right person that I am looking for, because I want to a professional in marketing. I want a person who is strong in communication skill, and I'm confident with you. You have got 2.9. And if the student is not able to write his own name rightly, what is the situation then? If he is not able to write a correspondence rightly, then what is the situation then? If you're not able to make a negotiation properly, what is the situation then? It is not the student who's been affected, it is the college. So at the first instance, giving a chart like this is not practically possible, because if you are sure, if you are able to give this, definitely you will be in the top of the list in, the institutions which has been offering outcome-based education. Because this is, if you're valuing something, that should be valid. Evaluation tool, the most important characteristics of an evaluation tool is that it should be valid. Validity means it should measure what it intend to measure correctly. If you are measuring a communication skill rightly, you should measure what is the real level of the student should be correctly portrayed. Otherwise, it will backfire on the institution. The institution will be the blacklist. Then after that, whoever comes from your institutions with such a scorecard, they won't look at it because you are in the blacklist. They know that they are just putting some figures and sending the students. It is not valid. Right, just like that. If you are just going to buy 1 kilo of sugar from a grocery shop, and you brought 1 kilo of sugar and you came home and you reweighed it, weighed it at home, and if instead of 1 kilo, if it is only half a kilo, will you again go to that grocery shop? Never. So this will be the scenario if you are giving an invalid or this outcome list. So at the first instance, we are not giving it to the students. Normally we say that for the sake of the management and the head of the institutions and the teachers, just to have an appraisal on how the students are progressing, whether they are comfortably sailing, whether to give some remedial measures, we can make use of this. And when this has come to from the alpha state to a perfection level, definitely we can give it to the students like this. So if you are able to give it like this, this is something bigger than the mark list, because this is what an employer want to look, whether this particular students have the competencies to fit the job requirement that he is being serving for. So, okay, so we have just looked into what is program educational objectives, the educational goals, the program outcomes and program specific outcomes, and the final calculations after the entire program. You will be able to calculate the program outcomes of each student in similar to the way that I have shown you in the previous slide. And now going into course outcome. So program outcomes are what the students are capable of doing after completing the program. So you will be fixing what outcomes are essential in the lines of program educational objectives, and you have showcased it. And this will become the program outcomes. That is, these outcomes the students should ensure while they are passing out. Similarly, these program outcomes are attained how? Because being teachers, the curriculum or the different subjects that we offer in the course, by the way of the course, are the real tools by which we shape the students to attain the program outcomes. So the different courses that we offer as a part of the program are the real tools that shape the students in the line of the program outcomes that they have showcased. So definitely, while we are preparing a outcome-based educational syllabus, we have to first showcase what program outcomes, and on the basis of the program outcomes only, we are selecting the different tools which helps them to attain these program outcomes. The tools are nothing but the different courses. And when we are coming to an outcome-based culture, each courses should be connected with a set of outcomes. Because in an outcome-based education, everything that we do is centered around some outcome. Everything. Even if you are giving them an assignment, first thing you have to take into consideration on successful completion of the outcome, what the students are capable of doing. If you are giving them a project, then definitely the project, you have to align the project on the basis of some outcomes. So likewise, if you are teaching them a course, a paper, an introduction to computer, or an operating system, or operation research, or research methodology, if you're introducing a paper as a part of the syllabus, the first thing that you have to consider is that what the students are capable of knowing and doing on successful completion of that course. So this question should be always be echoed while we are preparing a course. So that brings a clarity. That brings a clarity. It will be just like a catalog. It will be just like a catalog, isn't it? And definitely we know that we are moving with the implementation of new education policy 2020. And the greater part of I'm not now looking into the chat because after the completion of the sections, I will be completing it by 8:30. 50 about 30 minutes. I'll be giving the platform open for you to ask questions so that we can because every time if I divert, we will not be able to say it comfortably. So I will be coming back to the chat after the completion of these presentations. Okay, course outcome. So everything should be connected with the final output. What should be the final output while teaching that? That should be showcased first. So that is something very important. So what is a course outcome? The course outcome are the resultant knowledge the student acquire, the resultant knowledge and skill. Skill means what they're able to do, what they're able to know and what they're able to do. The students acquire at the end of each course. So on formulating each course. So what I discussing was about new education policy. I think that need a little reference at this point of time. Because the new education policy, we know that the bigger part of the new education policy is that the institutions are given autonomy, and the bigger part is that the students are given autonomy. That is for the higher education level, the students are given autonomy. And what is the autonomy that you give to the students? The students can select their program done from different institutions by selecting courses from different institutions. And they can accumulate their credits into the academic bank of credit. So that now we could say that an institution, a student may study one semester from one college, and the next semester he can go to any other college. Or after 1 year, he can leave the institutions with a certificate program, with a certificate, and then he can rejoin after some time, and then he can redo it in different institutions, or he can take some courses from online platforms. So this is possible. So this is something possible. The students may come to your college not for a program. They will be coming to your college for a course which comes under one program. So the quality will be going into much more granular level. So definitely the quality will be decided. Okay, this college, this program is better. No, this college, this program, this course is better. That will be that will be in the future in the Q factor of education scenario. And how do the students understand this course which is offered by such and such college is best? From the course outcome that they're showcasing, as well as from the review that the stakeholders, the students who have already taken the courses, as well as the employer that have appointed the students for for the employment. It is from these we will be able to we will be showcased. Our quality will be showcased. So there will be more traffic for not for a program from the course level. So formulating the courses in the right way is something very important. Formulating the course outcomes in the right way, as well as for connecting the course outcome with the industrial significant or significant level will make it flourish like anything. And the thing is that showcasing alone will not play. The review also, we should ensure that the students have successfully scaled such and such things. That is something very. So in an outcome-based education, they are the resultant knowledge and skill the students acquire by the end of the course. So while writing a course outcome, the course outcome could be written in a single statement which contains minimum two components. Minimum two components. One thing is that a course outcome should definitely showcase an action verb. And from where do this action verb come from? It is from our Bloom's taxonomy. So that is why we have given Bloom's taxonomy very, very priority while going with outcome-based education. The first section as well as the second section, we have just given detailed drilling into the Bloom's taxonomy. The first section, I have given you an outline of Bloom's taxonomy, and in the other section by Suresh Nambudiri, he has just given a four-dimensional concept for each level, like procedural knowledge, conceptual knowledge, factual knowledge, procedural knowledge, and metacognition knowledge. That is likewise, and Bloom's taxonomy will go from diagonally all these things in a higher platform. So you have now mastered the Bloom's taxonomy rightly. So this verb, using action verb, the action verb will depict what level your outcome is there, and it should be connected with the learning state. So while formulating a course outcome, it should have two components. One, what level this outcome stand, whether this your course outcome is taking the student to an understanding level, or even taking them to a higher level of application level, or whether taking them to a higher level of analytical level, and to what course content that this outcome is connected. So these are the two components that an outcome should have. So, so obviously, the outcome, what the learner will able to know and do at the end of the course. That's what we have mentioned first. And here, this is the formula. This is the formula that we will be, which I am sharing with you for preparation of an outcome or writing an outcome statement. What does this signify? What does this signify? So don't look at this. You can look at the bottom. So as I have mentioned, an outcome should have two components. Two components. What are the two components? One, action verb, and the other, learning statement. Action verb and learning statement. And how to write the outcome? Because I'm handling one paper in operation research for this MCA program. So there, as a part of the curriculum, we are just dealing with the different optimization techniques. So optimization techniques is that is, we are just taking an industrial scenario, then preparing a model related to the industrial scenario, and then we have got a set of algorithms for solving and then validating it. So this is something that we do as a part of the outcome-based education. So on the basis of that, the outcome which I have set is that is what students should be able to do. The students will be able to appraise. What is appraise? When do we use appraise? It is something that comes at a higher level, evaluation level. Appraise what? Effectiveness of optimization techniques. I am teaching them different optimization techniques, like using linear programming, optimization technique, using linear programming, the dynamic programming, integer programming, likewise different optimization techniques we are teaching to the students. And the students will be able to evaluate the effectiveness of the operation, these optimization techniques in which context? In the industrial scenario. So the learning statement is that I am teaching them optimization technique. So related to the optimization technique, what do I want the students to attain? I want the students to attain that level of proficiency that they are in a position to evaluate the different types of evaluation, the optimization techniques in some relevant context. Okay, in this context, okay, dynamic programming is the real thing. In this context, obviously, the linear programming is the better thing. In this context, the transportation algorithm will be the better one. So they should be able to identify it. And if you want to, this is evaluate the different performance and identify which one on the basis of criteria. So this is what I am looking for through my classes. So what should be, this is the final end. So I'll be applying different techniques, different methods, different projects, different use cases, so that by the end of my class, by the end of my course, the students should attain this level of competency in operation. So So what is this? This is showcased first. So what is my goal related to this? This is the outcome. I want everyone of my class to attain this level of competency, that they are able to attain a evaluation level and appraisal level of. So the outcome is appraise the effectiveness of optimization technique in the industry. So how can we? I was teaching optimization technique. I want them to attain this level of proficiency. So this level of proficiency is scaled from the Bloom's taxonomy. Okay. So suppose if I am teaching a simple topic like democracy, different forms of government, I am going to teach democracy, a small topic. So not the complete course, I am going to teach a small topic, democracy. So I'm going to take about 2 hours for that. So before that, I want to set an outcome. What is an outcome? Just I want to make them clear about the different the principles of democracy. So what should I expect after my class? What will be the outcome that I expect? The students, what should we be able to explain? That is, explain the different principles of democracy. So that will be the outcome. That will be the outcome which I am fixing it first, and I'll be taking 1 hour of classes, and by the end of the classes, this outcome should be attained. That's what outcome-based education. So whatever. So here, what explain means, I want to take them to an understanding level. From where did I get that understanding level? From Bloom's taxonomy. So explain. So I am taking the students in the learning ladder up to an understanding level with respect to what is the learning statement? Democracy. So very simple. Explain the principles of democracy. That is the outcome for that particular class. So at this context. Now this is a task for you. Read it. I think if you're comfortable to take a paper and write an outcome, I am not going to make you read, or I will not ask you to put it in chat, etc., etc., etc. So we are going very comfortably. How to measure will come in the upcoming sections. Don't first we can sit, and then we can go ahead with all the measurement things. Definitely, we will be going through all these things. So only after identifying the outcome in the right way, we can go with the measurement. Okay, so don't worry, things will come. Okay, so this is formulate one outcome from any course of your choice, and you have to publish it in Padlet. Okay, the same thing will be there. When you go to the LMS, there will be a very beautifully designed Padlet, so you can put that outcome there, and you can also comment on that. So after this section, I will take that LMS and show. So now you can write it and keep, and okay, they have already done. That's fine. So I want you to evaluate it by yourself. So this is a small good practice. I want you to read the first line. It is a good practice. I don't say that it is a wrong practice, because we are traveling from throughout the south, throughout I think most of the states of the South India, and even from Maharashtra, we used to have sections and panel discussions on outcome-based education. Throughout we travel like that, and there are many instances where we could find that these verbs are used in the outcome, but we don't say that it is wrong. The most significant factor of the outcome is that the outcome should be visible. That is what the students are capable of doing. If it is not visible, it is just what? Objective. Because in our first house construction scenario, you had an objective. The final form is not clear. But when you focused on the final, this should be the final house that I want to build, the outcome, the clarity was there. So the outcome should have clarity. So while writing an outcome, you have to take the verbs that very clearly define what the students are capable of doing. So especially if you're going and formulating PO, program outcome, that is something very broader. That is after completing 6 semesters, what are the outcomes that the students attain. You are not directly measuring these program outcomes. So if you're writing program outcomes, okay, you can use understand, all these verbs could be there. But it is always better when you come to the granular level, down level, that is the outcome, that is CO level, or even intended outcome level, where you are directly measuring things, where you are directly measuring the outcomes. It is always better to put the outcomes in verbs which is visible and measurable. That do not mean that these are wrong. That is what I told, that it is a good practice. You can read it 1 or 2 or 3 times, and because you don't say that, okay, this big department is putting the outcome like this, and you told that, no, it's a good practice only. This is something which Spaddy, that is he is the father of outcome-based education. In his book, it has very correctly said that outcomes should be most probably visible. Visibility should be there. It should be measurable. That is something very important. So while because when we are directly measuring the outcome, we want to see what the students are reacting, because teaching happens because stimulus and response. The response should be visible. The stimulus, that is learning is something that you are creating a stimulus, and the student should respond according to the stimulus. And the right response to the right stimulus, that is the real learning, and the response should be visible. That is what we are looking for. The outcome should be visible, right? So understanding, okay, can you see the student understood? Understand, because understanding is a Bloom's general categorization, understanding level like that. But when you write that verb, it is little vague. Appreciate, by looking at them, can you see that, really understand whether they appreciate? No. So if you are using these verbs, try to find whether there is little more better verbs from the Bloom's taxonomical collections, which we have shared it with you in the LMS. You can use that. If you don't find an appropriate word, you can go with this. We don't say that it is wrong. It is a good practice to, especially to the lower level outcomes, you can write it in this. So to make things clear, I have just read. The student will understand democracy by looking at them. Can you, what the students are capable of doing? Does it say what the students are capable of doing? Does it say what the students are capable of doing? Understand. This is an objective. Student understood. The student will describe major theories of democracy. What the students are doing, you can see here. Here you cannot see whether understood. Will appreciate the forms of arts. Is there a clear visibility here? Obviously, a partial visibility is there, but not clarity is there. So what he can perform, identify the characteristics of arts from the other culture, okay, like that. So just some instances, but in your area, you are the masters, you can go. The students will learn about the law of relativity. Outcome should be what the students are capable of doing. Clarity should be there. This is objective. So here the students explain the major tenets. So what the students, the final, what their performance, the output, what they're capable of doing, all these things will be the format of the output. So as I've told that, I will be giving you a scale, a quality check for a good outcome. A quality check for a good outcome. So obviously, a good outcome you can have for quality check. What's the first one? Are they written using action verb? See, action verb. Why action verb? By identifying the action verb, you will be able to identify to what level, to how high your outcome is. Whether your outcome is a higher level outcome, that is, whether you are taking the students to a higher level, an analytical level, or even even more than that, evaluation level. So to what level you are taking the students? So the outcome should depict this action. Test language describe the student's target rather than the teacher's behavior. That is nothing but they should very clearly write what the students are capable of doing. So it is only how you are phrasing the outcome, how you are writing the outcome. So whether does it describe students' target rather than teacher's behavior. Teacher's behavior means objective. Objective means what is objective? Teaching objective means what is objective teacher. Outcome means what the students are really. So both of them imply the same thing. One from teacher's point of view, objective. Outcome is what the students are capable of doing. So that's what. So normally in many sections, what when I say it is often said that if you write to develop like that, it is teacher's point of view, and outcome we don't use that to, because to makes that statement, and it's all regarding the how you frame things. So thing is that just write okay what the students are, explains. Students are doing explains, appraise, likewise. Do the outcome clearly describe the abilities, knowledge, values, the students of the course. So this is something very important. Suppose if you are writing an outcome connected to democracy, teaching of democracy, then okay, explain will showcase that this outcome is an understanding level outcome, and you should connect with the learning topic, the knowledge that the students are acquiring. That is, which is the learning domain that it has been connected. That is democracy. So whatever abilities or knowledge or value that the students of the course is being connected with the outcome should be very beautifully showcased. So if you are connecting an outcome with the Ohm's law or law of relativity or organic chemistry or something like that, that particular component should be there. While writing or while reading that outcome, the person should be able to identify to what level you are taking the students with respect to that particular domain of studies. Then another important thing is that, is it possible to collect an accurate or reliable data for the outcome? So how do you collect the data? It is in the terms of outcome-based education, we call it as whether you have got a very good indicator. Indicator means evaluation tool. Obviously, while we are going with our classes, obviously there are two types of evaluation which has been happening. Two types of evaluation. One is the evaluation which is essential for building our topics. That is, then and there you have to get feedback from the students whether they are going along with what we are trying to bring about. So that evaluation is formative evaluation. That is formative evaluation going along with. And after completing the program, okay, there should be a summative evaluation. So both the summative and formative evaluation should be connected with outcomes. So while teaching, while you're going to a class for teaching something, then definitely you should have a very specific intended learning outcome or micro outcome connected to the course outcome. And every time you are creating some learning experiences, you should check whether the students are attaining. That is, whether you will be able to identify, either it is by a question or giving them by an activity or by some other means or methods, you will be able to identify whether they have attained. So while you are writing an outcome, you should ascertain that whether you are able to devise a mechanism by which this outcome could be measured. So these are the 4 quality check for a good outcome. So are they written with a action verb, and that too from the Bloom's taxonomy? Whether the outcome depict the student's point of view rather than students. Teachers, do the outcome clearly describe the ability, that is the learning statement, are they connected? And is it possible to collect that? We know that. How we know whether they have attained such and such outcome? Whether it is through a test or so what indicator indicate the outcome is met? That should be clear while formulating outcomes. So these are some of the sample outcomes. These are some of the sample outcomes that we could. I just taken some just for you, just to show you that what written in red is what the Bloom's taxonomy level, the Bloom's taxonomy verb which we have supplied to you. That is what's the outcome, what the students are capable of doing after teaching this physics chapter of Hooke's law. Apply law of physics, Hooke's law, to compute different types of responses in the given material. Isn't it? This is what the students are capable of doing after teaching that particular topic. If they are able to do this, the outcome is met. Analyze what? Analyze. So what is this? All these are K4 level outcomes. Structural elements of different forces system to compute designs. What is this? Commerce. Explain. This is an understanding level outcome. Probably that will be an introductory class. You will be just narrating or giving some, make the students understand about the various principles of organization. So what the students should be able to do? They should be able to, okay, explain. This is the outcome you expect from the, explain the various principles of organization. So likewise, appraise the effectiveness of optimization technique in the industry, the outcome which I have shown you in my previous slide, like that. So this is some sample outcomes which I have showcased here. Now I think you are experts in your field. So you will be able to create some outcomes. So these outcomes, my next slide is, in this presentation, I have mentioned about graduate attributes and formula for writing outcome. In my next segment, next class, we'll be identifying how to write a graduate attribute into a program outcome. So it is graduate attribute. When it written in the form of outcome becomes a program outcome. So though we are writing graduate attribute, we are calling it as program outcome because it is the graduate attribute. When it is narrated in the form of an outcome becomes program. So this is the way of writing outcome for a simple topic of teaching. So how to write a course outcome from this topic? That is, it is a simple way. You just ask one question, isn't it? Suppose if you take one module, you ask a question. After completing this module successfully, what the students are capable of doing, you will get an answer. And that answer, you apply this formula and frame that outcome. That is a method of framing outcome. So simple. So if you take the course as a whole, you ask the question. So you'll be getting multiple answers. The students will be able to do such and such things. Reframe it in the form of the formula that I've shown you. That will become the course outcomes. So that through simple practices, you can become. So sorry, I'm not going to show. Thank you, not registering. Thank you now because I want to show this. What I could say. Today's task. Okay, let me. Let me come to this task. What you should do for today. I think we have got sufficient time to take up your queries. No issues. Now we are only at 8:37. So we are comfortable. So we will just show you how. So this is the task. My first task I have given you before for a question paper analysis, to take one question and to that I've explained. This is my second task. It's a very so this sheet you will be it is available in your LMs. You can download it. And what you have to do is that, obviously, by this time, obviously, you will be having your course outcomes. So you can take any one of the course that you're handling. So you can write the title for the course, and whether it is a BCom program or BCA program, whatever it may be, you can write the program likewise. And so the course title, what is the course title, and the this one. And if it is a commerce discipline, you can write it as a commerce, science, whatever it may be. Then what are the course outcomes? You can write course outcome one by one. But it is a normal process that you can have an optimum number of course outcome like 5, 6, or even 7. If you want to increase the columns, you can keep the cursor here. You can just enter. You can add any number of columns like that. So if there are 7 outcomes, you can write the 7 outcomes. And you can write the outcome completely here, type that outcome. And here we have got 4 quality check, which I've shown there. And I've also detailed here the 4 quality check. Isn't it? The 4 quality check. What are they? Are they written using an action verb to specify definitely the observable behavior? So do your outcome has an explicit action verb right from the Bloom's taxonomy? If yes, you can write yes. Then second thing, whether it is written in the form of what the students are capable of doing. Okay, that is whether they are phrased in the form of an objective or they are phrased in the form of a outcome. If yes, you can put yes. The third one, do the outcome clearly describe, that is whether you have connected the learning component, the learning domain in this outcome. If it is hooks, in the previous slide, appraises optimization technique, Hooke's law, that is the learning part is been very beautifully phrased, then okay, yes. And fourth one, is it possible to collect? That is a measuring tool, whether it's a test or whatever it may be, or activity. That is your rational. How can you measure that outcome? Whether by asking a question or whether by giving an activity, how you will be able to know? So if you are able to find an indicator to assess your outcome, okay, you can put that. If all the four checks are yes, that means 100% quality is there for your CO1. The second course you can write, again you can repeat the same thing, and the CO2, if it is 100%, you can write 100. If only three of them is, if there is no Bloom's verb, okay, only three is there, then you can have only 65%, because each check is 20%. You can number check, it is yes, then that will be the percentage, right? So all the four will make it 100%. Three will make the 75. Two will make it 50. So whether it needs improvement, no compromise. Anything less than 100, you need compromise. You have to improvise it. So you can put it like this, and this you can submit it in your LMS. So this activity will be given in the form of a workshop activity. So first 2 days, it will be open for you to what? Submit your assignment task. And later, after 2 days, I think Sijin will be detailing on the time when you have to submit it. Then you will be transferred into evaluation mode. So you can submit your outcomes, and then when you go to the evaluation mode, you will be getting outcomes submitted by some of your friends, some of your participants who are participating, where you can evaluate it and you can put the marks like that. So everything has been very beautifully detailed in that activity. So you can refer it. That is what I told, that the real hands-on activities lies in the LMS. So don't miss the opportunity to avail the LMS. That makes you little more competent in handling this background realities of outcome based. So this will be the LMS. This is very beautifully phrased. This one is the day one activities. It has been showcased here. Okay, here we have started with the question analysis, and there also you have got a Padlet. You can add your questions here, isn't it? A remembering question. Remembering, if you click here, it is a remembering question. You can add it here. If you click it here, this is again a remembering question. I'll write EXPL explain GST. So that was a question which has come here at an understanding level. So like you can put your questions here, and also you can check whether these questions are rightly placed, isn't it? Whether it is right, you can also post your comments here also. So this is a very beautiful thing which is there, and this is our day 3. This is today's. The today class recordings will be there if for some reasons if you missed some area, that then you can just go through the video which will be showcased here, and the activity which will here. This is the file which I've showed you. It is here. You can submit it in that activity here, and here is also a Padlet. You can add course outcomes here. So now you have already written one course outcome in the midst of our class, and you have corrected it. And now that corrected outcome, you can put it here. This is depending upon if it is an arts discipline or science discipline, commerce, language, computer science. The different disciplines are there. You can choose your discipline and you can put your outcome, a set of outcomes, either one outcome, or if your course has got 3 or 5 or 6 outcomes, you can put the whole set of outcomes of your course. So you can use it so that this is a platform where the others can come and see your outcomes. They can come and comment. You can see others' outcomes, so that this gives you a collaborative platform for learning this. Because all these things, while we hear and within 1 or 2 hours, it will go out of the mind. So when you're doing something, that is a real and contrived experiences, the real direct experiences. So that will make the learning a little more impressive and impactful. So, and also you will get the different opinion from the others also. So make the best out of it. So that is all. So now it's the time for you to register the thank you. And now the platform is, I will close the sharing, and now I'm giving it back to Sijin. If there is any queries and questions, we can take it up. So we have got 15 minutes where we can have a little more clarity.
I will read out some questions for you. There are some questions which have been posted. How do we measure the questions that arise in one's mind? That is one question.
Where is that? How?
How do you measure the questions that arise in one's mind? Pratibha has asked these questions. How to measure questions that arise in one's mind?
One's mind, I am totally confused. What Pratibha is, how to measure the questions that comes in one mind. If it comes in the mind of Pratibha, you can write the questions there. And if you want answer, you can ask the students. That is what we are. I think what Pratibha was looking is that how will we be able to know whether the outcome is met? Definitely, that is what I've said, that we have to fix an indicator. Because this is something, the learning is something that will happen, that is happen inside the students, and we will be able to know what the students learn from the different questions that we have given, and they will reply the questions. So you could give a space for them to answer the questions. So that is how we can learn what is there in the mind. Okay, so academical, these are the projective. These are something that should be projected. That is the attainment. All these things which is happened inside the mind of the students should be projected by giving them some activity and looking how they are successfully completing the activity on the basis of how effective that they are able to complete that activity, or how effective they are able to present the things will be the scale for you to understand what is there in the mind of the students, right? So I think it's answered.
All right, okay. There's Dr. Sabu Vagis who's asked that how can I access LMS? Okay, now the procedure for accessing LMS, the first thing you need to do is you need to have paid the registration fee of rupees 200 to this bank account which I've put out here. That is this bank account in the chat that I've put. Okay, once you've done that, you need to send a screenshot of the payment to that number which is stated there. That's 919025925330. Once that is done, you will get a mail with the details for the LMS access, the URL, the username, and the password. Okay, with that details, the mail will come to your mailbox. Okay, check that, and then once you log in, you can see these activities in the LMS. And yes, as Dr. Sunil has mentioned, once you complete this task, please make sure you upload it onto the LMS. Okay, I can show you that step of uploading. I'll just show you my screen, then you will understand how it's being done. Just give me a sec. I will.
So by the time, 𝐶𝐚𝐭, with your permission, let me take few questions.
Yeah, you can take
To read.
You can read it out.
Okay, okay, but Pratibha, so what I was asking is about the reference that the graduate attributes slides is been taken. Actually, when we go with the data analytics, what we do is that we try to make all that assessments into the same scale by standardization or normalization. If you normalize it, the entire data will come into 0 to 1. And if you standardize it, it will come from -3 to 6. So this scale is not an issue. If you got 3, that means 100. If you got 2.7, it is 90%. So you can convert it into any scale, isn't it? That is 3. That is the point you got. If it is 2.7, 2.7 divided by 3 into 100 will be the percentage scale. So that is compatible. And this is a scale which is a standardized scale which has been used by NBA. It is not ours. And if you want some more higher scales, there is no issue that you can make use of that scale. There also you have got freedom, because here we have got a lot of flexibility and autonomy to fix the standards. But this is the scale which has been adopted by NBA and NAC also, which has been said. So don't think that because in NBA, this accreditation or in this NAC accreditation, the entire activities that you are making in the SSR has been calculated in a final scale of 4, like 3.66, A double plus like that. So no issues. The scale, though it is small, it will convey the entire thing. Each point, not one. You can have an infinite number of points between two closest points. So it don't matter. So that's it.
Yes.
The mapping will be discussed later. Okay, going to Sijit.
Yeah. For the day 3, this was your task, that the workshop activity. So once you click that, okay, this is the screen that comes out here. Okay, that will be visible to you, and you can see out here from 20th February to 22nd February. Okay, you have the submission phase, so you can submit your work on those days, and then you have from 23 to 25. You will have the days for your assessment. Okay, so you can assess other people's task that is being submitted, and then finally you will have the grading evaluation phase. So once you have completed both the submission assessment, you will get the grading based on that. Okay, now how do you submit your work is what I'm going to show it to you. What you do is you need to click this file, download the file from here. This is the file that Dr. Sunil have shown it. Okay, you see that it's already downloaded for me. Okay, so just click on save to save it. Okay, I'll just save it once more maybe. Replace it. Once you open that, the file that Dr. Sunil had shown will open up. Okay, and you need to fill that up. And what you need to do is, on this activity itself, you need to submit it. Okay, now it comes edit submission for me in the screen because I already submitted it once. Okay, you can only submit one file for your task. Okay, so what you do is, if you have completed that file, you filled up all the things accordingly, then you pick that file from, okay, you pick that file from the location and just upload it. If you have already done it, you delete the file. Okay, if I'm deleting it, I delete it. And if you have made some changes to the file, save it and choose the new file. Okay, task 2, specify your outcomes. I click on that and open it and say upload to this file. Okay, and finally you say save changes. That will complete your submission phase. Okay, assessment phase is when it will change to the assessment phase. Okay, that is on after 22nd. On 23rd, it will be on assessment phase, when you will get to review other people's task as well, which is being completed. Then you get to review them and you can give marks based on your grading. Okay, so you can do that. So once that is done, your assessment is done, then finally the evaluation phase will come after that. Okay, and you will get a mark based on that. Okay, so this is the activity for today. I can see that few of the people have already submitted because they already knew some part of this topic that was discussed today.
So, Sajan, let me take one or two questions
Yeah,
which has
yeah,
been there.
please do.
Okay, okay.
I think how.
So there are a few questions that comes. I will just go through that. Will CEO contribute separately to both the PO and PSOs? So definitely, every CEO can be connected to either one or more PO and PSOs. So it is not necessary that one CEO should connect all PO and PSOs. It can be connected to one, two, or three, or depending upon its structure. So the PO can connect with any CEO can connect with the PO as well as PSOs. Definitely, since PSOs are subject specific, most of the CEOs will have a very good connection with the PSOs. So that's what will mapping be discussed later? Definitely. Tomorrow, my section will be discussing in detail how a course outcome will be getting transferred into a PO, PSO. What is the logic behind mapping? We will be mapping with this a question with the CEOs and how to map a CEO with the PO. Wonderful things will come up tomorrow. So don't worry. And regarding the this final computation, the final day, Dr. Mendes will be giving you details on that. Okay, can I write Telugu? If it is possible to write in English, because this will be for a common platform, you can. But if it is a language, okay, that is also permitted. There is no issues. So how we can measure the attainment level? Don't worry. Everything will be detailed discussed in this. Attainment comes in the last day. For mistake-free writing, the outcomes, can we use software to check the outcome? If you have software, you can check it. That's depending upon your freedom. What I was asking is the reference. Oh, this I have already answered. The scale 3, if it is, you can have, this is a standardized scale which has been given. If it is 3, if you want to convert it into percentage scale, okay. If it is 2.7, if you want to get it into percentage scale, 2.7. 2.7 divided by 3 into 100 will give it to the percentage equivalent of that. Okay, then what is this? If outcomes are subjective and not to be if outcomes are subjective and not to be concrete and measurable, how we do that? So outcome should be measurable. That is what we try to even remove the verb understanding and make it correctly. So while formulating the outcome, it is your duty to make the outcome in a, not in a subjective way, concrete, because the outcome should be visible, it should be measurable, observable. These are the characteristics of a good outcome. Do we have correct the CEO of our choice and then add it to patent? Obviously, because the CEO that is added to your patent will be in your name. So it will be better that your CEO should stand out than anyone. Okay. So what is the difference between PO and PSO? That is what we were trying to bring from the very beginning. PSO are subject specific, related to that common that subject alone. POs are common to all. Suppose if you have BSc Mathematics, Commerce, BCA, those program outcomes related to that subject, domain knowledge is PSO, and common to all will be PO. So if there are 10 programs, all the 10 programs can have the common PO, but different PSOs. Are there standard ways of measuring COs? Obviously, when you come to the CO measurement, you will really understand what it is there. The program, okay, you can, they will be uploading. We have in our curriculum 5 COs, very good. Obviously, it is a good custom that to restrict the number of COs to 4, 5, 6, or 7. Don't go and write 20 COs, because it is by the end of the program, you have to sit down and calculate all the 20 COs and to map with these POs, and the PO will get irritated if all the 20 COs are coming. So you can restrict the number of COs to 4 to 5 to 6, maximum 7. Okay, then how to measure the attainment of PO in line of CO? That is what you're going to detail in the next classes. So make sure that you attend that. So how can we measure it? Measure all these measurement will come in the how to calculate the attainment. Okay, it will come. Don't be in a hurry. You will be mastering all these things. Okay, so don't worry. It will there. So that's all for that is there in the chat. So I think I've answered all the questions. And if there is further questions, you can put in chat or unmute and say the platform is open for you. So Srijan, if no more questions are coming, let us try to wind up.
All right. Let me check if there's any question from. Okay, I don't see any questions in YouTube. Okay, I think all the questions have been answered. Okay. Yes, there was a question. Will we get the PPTs? The PPTs will, everything will be there on the LMS. Okay, all this presentation will be there in the LMS. Also, you will get it in YouTube. You can just search for IPSR academics and search for Dr. Sunil Job. You can see all the videos that have been uploaded from Dr. Sunil Job on these subjects. All right. Okay. I think we are done for today. Now, next we'll have the word of thanks by Delna Joseph. She's the assistant professor in English at 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐽 College, Labakara. She's a qualified KTET. B.Ed at 𝐍𝐚𝐭𝐢𝐨𝐽 College, Labakara. M.A. English Language and Literature at CMS College, Kottayam. B.A. English Language and Literature at St. Dominic's College, Kandirapalli. Over to you, Delna.
Good evening, all. Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Sunil 𝐸𝐽𝐽, 𝐺𝐵M Arts and Science College, Manager Reverend Father Abraham Pani Kulangara CST, Principal Dr. Sabu Augustine, Vice Principal Reverend Father Prince Takalail CST. I deem it a great privilege and honor to propose vote of thanks on this auspicious occasion. Let me first start by giving glory to God Almighty for letting us gather here for an enlightening program. First and foremost, I thank our special guest, Dr. Sunil 𝐸𝐽𝐽, Adjunct Faculty, Marian College, Kuttikkanam, and Chief of Academics, IPSR Solutions Limited, who despite his busy schedule has found time to this occasion to enlighten the teachers from various parts of India. Thank you, sir, for enriching and enlightening class about OBE. It was a wonderful session for all of us. Sir, thank you from the bottom of our heart. Now, I would like to thank our organizing team, 𝐺𝐵M Arts and Science College and IPSR Solutions Limited for organizing 7-day national level online FDP on OBE. We are grateful to our manager, Reverend Father Abraham Pani Kulangara CST, for his able guidance, kindness, and continued support. Thank you, Father. I thank our well-wisher, our principal, Dr. Sabu Augustine, for his stewardship, support, vision, and commitment. Sir, I extend you my heartfelt thanks. I thank our young and vibrant Vice Principal, Reverend Father Prince Takalail CST, and IQAC Coordinator, Ms. Priya K, for their effort and commitment. I also thank IPSR Solutions Limited for organizing FDP in association with 𝐺𝐵M Arts and Science College. Last but not the least, I thank you all for your kind cooperation. Thank you.
Okay, thank you all. So have a wonderful evening and a night ahead.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. We will see you tomorrow, same time, 7 p.m. Okay, that will be our fourth day. Please don't miss it. Yes, we'll be having further sessions on these topics. Okay, so please make sure you attend it for tomorrow and day after as well. We have the sessions. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good evening.